Welcome to Soft Slumber. Settle in and relax as we begin a new story designed to ease your mind and guide you into peaceful sleep. Let's begin. As the clock struck 9, a blanket of snow had already transformed the small village into a winter wonderland. The world outside was hushed, save for the faint whisper of wind weaving through the evergreens. Snowflakes danced in the glow of the street lamps, their delicate patterns mesmerizing and serene. Tonight, the air carried a quiet magic, the kind that settles softly into the soul and invites dreams. Nestled at the edge of the village, an old stone cottage stood as though it had grown naturally from the earth itself. Its walls were covered in ivy, now dusted with snow, and a thin ribbon of smoke curled from the chimney, promising warmth within. The windows, framed by frosted glass, glowed with the golden light of a fire crackling in the hearth. Inside, the cottage was a haven of comfort. The scent of pine mingled with hints of cinnamon and vanilla, wafting from a pot of tea that steamed gently on the kitchen counter. A plump cat, its fur as soft and grey as the winter sky, was curled in a tight ball on a thick knitted blanket draped over a well-loved armchair. The room was alive with quiet details, the soft hum of the kettle, the faint ticking of an antique clock, and the occasional pop of a log shifting in the fire. In the armchair, Anna sat with a book open on her lap. She wasn't reading, though. Her gaze wandered to the window, where snowflakes clung like lace to the panes. She pulled the blanket more snugly around her shoulders, savoring the peaceful solitude of the evening. Reaching for her mug, she took a sip of the tea, its warmth spreading through her like a gentle hug. She closed her eyes for a moment, letting the quiet lull her. The cottage, the snow, the stillness. It was all so perfect, so tranquil. She felt as though she were wrapped not just in the blanket, but in the embrace of the winter night itself. Outside, the snow continued its silent descent, building soft mounds on the rooftops and piling on the branches of the trees. It softened the sharp edges of the world, turning everything into a landscape of gentle curves and muted colors. The moon peeked out from behind a cloud, casting a silver glow over the village. In the distance, the faint sound of church bells echoed, their melody carrying a timeless grace. Anna rose from her chair, the floor creaking softly beneath her feet, and moved to the window. She pressed her hand against the cool glass and looked out at the night. The garden was blanketed in white, its once bare bushes now wearing caps of snow. Tiny icicles hung from the eaves, catching the light like tiny prisms. Everything felt so still, so complete. A sudden gust of wind stirred the trees, shaking loose a cascade of snowflakes that shimmered in the moonlight. Anna smiled, charmed by the fleeting beauty of the moment. It reminded her of the snow globes she'd collected as a child, each one a tiny, perfect world. Tonight, it felt as though she were living in one. Returning to her chair, Anna placed another log on the fire and settled back in, the warmth quickly spreading through the room. The flames danced and flickered, casting playful shadows on the walls. She picked up her book again, but found her eyelids growing heavier with each passing moment. The rhythm of the snow against the window, the crackle of the fire, and the gentle rise and fall of her cat's breathing were a soothing symphony. As Anna drifted toward sleep, she felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. for the quiet beauty of winter, for the simple joys of a cozy home, and for the promise of restful dreams. The snow would fall through the night, wrapping the world in its serene embrace. And within the little stone cottage, all was warm, safe, and still. Above the village, the stars shimmered like 1,000 tiny lanterns in the velvety sky. Their light seemed to dance in harmony with the snowflakes, casting a gentle glow over the world below. It was as if the heavens themselves had joined in the symphony of peace, their presence both humbling and comforting. In her dreams, Anna wandered through a landscape of soft snowdrifts and quiet forests, where the air sparkled and the silence felt alive. Each step she took left no mark, as though she were floating through this magical world. The sensation was one of utter serenity, a timeless place where all worries melted away, leaving only a deep, abiding sense of calm.